Hi there. It's Tom and Tom doing the thing we do 3 days a week, 365 days a year. Well, no, couldn't be if we're doing 3 days a week.
300. We think about it every day.
That's right. We're always looking for a good topic. And Tom has the good topic today, not me, the other Tom.
The topic for today is we're wrong a lot,
You
and
sure
I
about
brought it
that?
up I brought it up in an earlier conversation this week, and I thought it's worthy of spending some time on just by itself. It's a fundamental part of everything we do inside the book, and it's also just a favorite saying of mine. I'm asked to guest lecture often at the local university, and when I do, the professors often go, "Say that thing you say. You didn't say that thing." I'm like, "What thing?" And they're like, "You're wrong a lot about almost everything, almost all of the time." They like it when I tell that to their kids. They're like, kids, they're all adults, but they're in college. They're all like, they don't know that. And no one's told them that.
Yeah. And the thing about this I find fascinating about being wrong a lot is it's not necessarily even that you're wrong in the moment. Like you could be wrong, you could be right in the moment, but then you become wrong later and don't know it.
I lecture usually in two different classes. One's marketing and one's in the computer engineering department. When I'm in the marketing department, the example I give, because I wrote books on Facebook advertising, and it's like I will write 100 ads to find one that works, which means I'm happy with a 1%. I'm right that that was a good ad percentage. This was before AI could write these for you. The so with AI, the percentage might even be lower, but if you can test them for free, it might still be a win. The point is, I'm going to write 100 ads. I'm going to write each ad thinking it's a good ad, thinking that I picked a good image, thinking that I wrote a good headline, thinking that I wrote good text. And I'm mainly going to be wrong 99% of the time. And if I can do that quickly and affordably in digital marketing, if I can be wrong 99 times and I only spend maybe $20 for each time I'm wrong, then on that 100th one I hit, that's an ad I might run and I might do tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars worth of sales when I finally get the right ad working. So
Interesting.
I'm wrong a lot and I'm willing to be wrong a lot because I know I'm wrong a lot. And I built a system that tries to detect early my wrongness and to adjust really quickly and zero in on something that might be right. And as you said, an ad that works now, that's right this week, might not work even 3 weeks from now.
Right.
And it might work 3 years from now. It's like it's the you don't know, right? Sometimes you write an ad because there's a topical topic that's out. The Olympics is on, or a big event happened with a celebrity, and you write an ad that sort of ties into that. That's going to be a short-term, short-running ad, so you'll be right for about a week,
Right. And then the same thing is wrong.
and then it's wrong.
One of my favorite examples of this, and anybody who has been in product development, whether it's software or hardware or kitchen appliances, it doesn't matter. You start out with an idea and a very rough idea, high level idea. And everybody thinks you're onto something and they say, let's go ahead and build it. Hopefully you've tested that and done some research and you're pretty
Yeah,
sure
you're
it's a
wrong
good
a
idea
lot.
because you at least have some hunch that it's a good idea. And the first thing the leadership asks you is, how long is it going to take?
No, yeah, you're talking about in a big company.
How much is it going to
Like,
cost?
what's it going to cost?
And it's a fair question. But of course you don't know. What you do know is that every answer you give is wrong. It will absolutely be wrong. And we call it an estimate, but an estimate implies that you're going to get close. And even that might be wrong. Often is. I mean, you can look at some big projects throughout history. Google Chrome, they had an OKR to ship 1 million units of, have 1 million downloads on Chrome the first year. They got barely 200,000. And the second year, they raised it to 5 million, and they, barely cracked 1 million or something. I don't remember the exact numbers. But then finally, they picked a number, and they blew that number out of the water so bad that was low.
But it finally was working so
Right.
well that everyone told their friends to
Right.
install it.
And then
Guess
it blew
what?
up, right? And the thing about the agile approach to development is that because you're constantly iterating and making small adjustments as you go, the farther along you get, the more likely your estimate will be accurate.
Yeah.
And if you can get management to understand that point, because it's a tricky one.
That your estimate gets more accurate each week, not less accurate.
Right.
When I was doing some consulting at a large insurance company, and was trying to find ways to explain to them what we had done at Menlo in terms of software development. And we were talking about wrongness and feedback loops. So when you're wrong, you build a control system. Like, how long, if you wrote an ad and it might be wrong, how long do you want that ad even sitting around? It's like, if I can test it in the next 5 minutes, which you could, like, say with a Facebook ad, great, I'm wrong for 5 minutes. All right, that ad didn't work. So you have that short feedback loop. I could create it, I could put it out there, I could get it in front of 1,000 people, and I could see my returns on that ad in 5 minutes. How long do you want to be wrong about something? But what people don't get about what you and I were involved with in terms of the Agile side is if Agile says, yeah, you're wrong a lot. You're wrong about the vision for the product. You're wrong about who the customer is. You're wrong about who the features are. You're wrong when you write a line of code. You wrote it wrong. You're wrong all the way down. I did an analysis of what the system we built at Menlo and how many feedback loops were operating, that I could easily identify. How long do you check in before you close the loop? And I identified like 135 things we were constantly checking in on. And some of them, like, how long did you go? Some of them were second by second. It's like, no, let's not go more than a second with that error before we're getting feedback on it. And some of them were minute by minute, and some were hour by hour, and some were day by day, and some were week by week, and some were longer. Some were even yearly check-ins. But overall, we had a system that had 135 feedback loops, some which closed as quickly as every second, to help you identify where you were wrong. And that's where ceremony comes in.
Those are small things, but this same problem occurs with big things. And you actually gave a great you made a great comment about projects. You said, like, a lot of projects don't fail fast enough. Like, people,
Yeah.
they go through a lot of rigmarole to get a project approved, and so they become wedded to it. And as soon as it becomes apparent that the project is sitting on top of a wrong foundation, like, that's the moment to say, oops, let's kill this thing before it, consumes up our clock and our money. Let's just get rid of it. And a lot of times leadership will know, like, no, what can we do? What can we do to fix this? And it's like, the answer is Stop.
Yeah.
That's the
If
answer.
you determined it's wrong, don't keep running the ad. Like,
Right.
it's sort of obvious in that case, but it's like, it's just as true for every other decision.
Right. It's not just a matter of, oh, we're wrong. How do we fix this? Sometimes it's, we're wrong. Let's stop.
Let's just stop.
Just stop.
So that's a little bit of a, and I really get this from my buddy Kyle, who co-wrote the book on ceremony with me. I kept asking him, this was like 15 years ago, give me the fund. I'm like, look, I built Menlo. I know what works, and I know it sort of organically and experientially, and like we built it and it works, and it's fundamentally been running for 25 years. But I don't have a good philosophy as to why it works. So I was like, I want you to tell me the philosophy. And every time he would come up with something like, it's feedback. And I'm like, great, feedback. Feedback's important. What's underneath feedback? And finally, he came to the core philosophy for everything. And the core philosophy is, oh, we're wrong a lot.
Yeah.
That's not only just for Agile, that's for everything we do. That's for every startup, for every business. And that's why we built structures for coming together, closing feedback loops, and why we call them ceremonies, structured ways of working that we know work because we've done them before. But every ceremony we describe, if you look at it, it's designed to close feedback loops between humans, to recognize where you're wrong and to share it together, and to course correct, or, as Tom said, stop.
It's bigger than that, Tom. I use this philosophy in every aspect of my life. Like, I was online talking to some people the other night, and somebody started saying something to me that I thought to myself, that's wrong. But I remind myself that I'm often wrong.
I'm wrong.
So rather than just summarily dismiss this person and say, no, you're wrong, it causes me to go, now, where did you get your information? Why do you believe that's true? And sometimes I learn something by asking those questions rather than starting into an argument of telling them what I know that proves that they're wrong. I make them prove they're right because I don't know really.
Yeah.
I think I know, but I'm wrong a lot.
Kyle named his philosophy humilitancy. I'm militant about trying to be humble.
I love that.
And I'll give one last example, just a job I've done a lot. So over 25 years, Agile coaching. You know, a team might come up to me even today and they go, we would like to do this ceremony this way. And I've seen 5 teams try to do it that way, and I've seen all of them reject it and have very good reasons. So what do? When the team asks me, I say, interesting, run the experiments.
Right.
Because for me to say that won't work for you, I'm wrong a lot.
Here we are again.
I don't really understand all the conditions of the prior 5 teams, and I don't really understand all the conditions of this team. And I've done that enough where I'm like, yeah, run the experiment. Like, the experiment's going to run for a week. So they can run 52 of them a year. I'm like, I'm not worried about wasting a week of them running an experiment. And lo and behold, some reasonable percentage of the time, it will work for them. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't just shut them down, thinking I was the fount of all wisdom.
Right. Be careful of that.
By the way, there will be things I'll shut down. I'm like, no, that will cause the rocket to blow up. Like, yeah. I can see you're leaking fuel here into a gas flame. Like, I'm not talking about an engineering call, because I am an engineer. I'm talking about a process call. And I'm like, I don't understand exactly why all process works or doesn't work with any given team. So run the experiment and let's see what works for you.
There you go.
We're wrong a lot, except
Oh.
this video, we're right about being wrong.
We're right about being wrong a lot.
That's our militancy part of humilitancy.
That's right. And with that, another Tom and Tom video comes to a close. When was the last time you were wrong? And did you admit it sooner or later?
Or
have
ever.
any-
He's still in denial.
Yeah, right. You know, we always love to hear your stories, so drop them in the comments. And as always, at the end of our videos, if you've enjoyed this video, even if you didn't enjoy this video, if you watched this much of it, do us a favor and click the subscribe button. And that'll help other people waste a good 15 to 20 minutes on this video. If you want to be mean to them, I guess. I don't know. We would hope that you will click that subscribe button because we're short on subscribers right now. And if you would like to talk about being wrong or being right, reach out to us at beintentional.biz. And we have lots of wisdom that we would love to share with you and see if we can help you guys out. So thanks a lot for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.